Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sparks Fly Divination. Today's reading is going to be an air sign love reading. So it's going to be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius style love reading. Okay. So please remember that this reading is for entertainment purposes only. It may or may not resonate. Take what does and leave the rest for another person to claim. Okay. And what else here? If you would like, you could subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. You can hype the video up if you have access to that, or just give the video a like. Please consider leaving a comment if this video resonates with you. And yeah, that's all I really have for you here. And we're going to cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. I'm just trying to get the sage to light. So excuse me while I do that. Oh, I also have tarot readings available. It is on my profile if that's something you're interested in. You can get them off for like 60%. So 66% off. And if that's something you're interested in, great. Also, stay tuned. There's going to also be a collective energy, okay? So let's get this sage going here. And let's see what we can do for this reading. All right. So it's going to be Gemini first, of course, and then Libra, and then Aquarius. If I could get this to light, that would be fabulous. All right. So... all right. Hello. Let's light sage. That's why I have a candle lit so it can light easier. Do we got this? Yes, we do. Okay. All right. So cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space, please. Let's cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space, please. My candle just blew out, so I need a second here. And I just broke my matches. All right, let's try again. All right. Cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. And let's go here. All right, there we go. Okay, awesome. We got it lit finally. So let's cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. 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 Cleanse my energy and my space. Spirit guide, guardian angels, ancestors, ask for you to join me in this reading today for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for their love reading. So it is a very interesting type of love reading. We're going to start with Gemini, and we're going to start with the energy of Gemini. So what is Gemini's energy in this connection in love? Okay, what is Gemini's energy in this connection in love? Okay, so Gemini, your energy is the Page of Wands, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and the Five of Cups. So Gemini, what this is telling me here is you are seeking like a little bit of independence here. I do see you have some kind of creative endeavors, all right? With the Six of Pentacles in reverse, I do see that you kind of feel like there's a little bit of lack of equal give and take sometimes, all right? And then the Five of Cups, you are releasing anything that is emotionally holding you back, all right? So I do see you working on healing in that, and anything that has bothered you, kind of working on releasing that. So Gemini, what is your person? What is the person of Gemini's energy in this connection? What are their energy in this connection? What is the energy of Gemini's person, please? Okay. So Gemini, you have the Magician in the reverse. They have the Moon and then the Death and Rebirth. So Gemini, I do see that it's a little bit of dreams being broken at some point. Okay. Them looking within to see what it is they need to change. Some of your partners are seeking change within themselves. Some of them may have been a little bit kind of like feeling that they were like codependent or a little bit of a burden, not necessarily that they were a burden, but there may have been difficulties. Okay. With the Death and Rebirth, I do see them moving forward and kind of taking the steps to create change from themselves first to better off the connection, but also for their highest good. Okay. So next we have the Togetherness energy. So what is the Togetherness energy for the Gemini and their person? What is the Togetherness energy for the Gemini and their person, please? What is the togetherness energy for that Gemini and their person? So we have the Three of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Six of Wands. Okay, so what I see here is the Three of Swords. There definitely was some kind of like heartbreak situation here that may have been a little bit of an issue. Okay. Not necessarily a like third party person, but maybe just some kind of energy or a broken heart or some kind of situation. It doesn't always mean cheating. Also, outside forces may have caused a little bit of issues in the connection. With the Nine of Cups, I do see both of you working on independence, kind of like emotional balance, regulation, whatever you want to call it, working on stuff emotionally. And then the Six of Wands, I do see each of you like standing on your own power here. Okay, standing in your own spotlight, kind of making your own paths, but still being joined in the connection. Okay. So what do we have for Libra? Libra, what is the energy of the Libras, please? What is the energy of the Libras, please? What is the energy of the Libras, please? So Libra, you have the Death and Rebirth, the Wheel, and the Three of Wands in reverse. So for you, Libra, I see that there is always going to be a death and rebirth for you. You have the Wheel, so you're moving forward. So there's things that you're like releasing to move forward. And then the Three of Wands in reverse is you are a little bit stagnant on some kind of passion energy. You're not too sure like where you're going in the connection, or where you're going solo. Okay. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. Some of you may be reliant on the other person, and that might be something that may be subconsciously bothering you. And like they may think it's not an issue, but I feel like subconsciously you feel like it's a little bit of an issue. All right. What is the person, Libra's person's energy, please, in this connection? What is Libra's person's energy in this connection? What is Libra's person's energy and this connection, please? Okay, what is their connection energy? All right, they have the Five of Wands in reverse, the Seven of Cups in reverse, and the High Priestess in reverse. So Libra, what I see here is there's a little bit of lack of building. Okay. A little bit with the Seven of Cups, a little bit reluctancy with the emotions. So whether they're not expressing emotions properly or there's fear of speaking emotions, right? With the High Priestess in reverse, they're not 100% sure on where this is going to go. I also see them not being in their like highest good for themselves. So there's definitely some work that they have to work on, and they may be acknowledging this at the moment, right? And if they're not, I see that there might be something in the future that may cause them to acknowledge this. Okay. So what is the connection energy, please? For the togetherness energy between Libra and their person? What is the togetherness energy between Libra and their person, please? What is the togetherness energy between Libra and their person? So you have the Fool in reverse, the Temperance, and the Five of Cups. So what I see here is a little bit of stagnant energy, but I also see this as a realization that there's like no real new direction. Like it's not like you are going anywhere. The Temperance is saying that you're going to have patience, and the Five of Cups is releasing what doesn't work for either of you in this connection, like emotionally. So you kind of have to heal stuff, right? If you two are constantly at each other emotionally, it's going to deteriorate your connection, right? So it's learning how to communicate, but also like actually taking the time to understand each other's emotions properly, right? Okay. So next we have the lovely Aquarius. So Aquarius, what is Aquarius's energy in this connection with their person? What is Aquarius's energy in this connection with their person? What is Aquarius's energy in this connection with their person, please? What is Aquarius's energy? So Aquarius, you have the King of Swords, the Judgment, and the Fool card. So for you, Aquarius, you have seeing the truth in the situation, a judgment call needing to be made, and the Fool, so new beginnings. Now that's whether it's you in this connection. If it's you in this connection, you need to see the truth of the situation. You need to make a judgment call. And if you're staying in this connection, you need to find new ways to kind of like work through the connection. I don't know. It's like nothing really negative showing here, but if it's in a negative aspect, some of you I see leaving a connection or having a pause moment. Okay. But I do see that as a positive for a reading. So Aquarius, what is your person's energy in this connection, please? Aquarius, what is your person's energy in this connection, please? Aquarius, what is your person's energy in the connection? So Aquarius, your person's energy is the Empress in reverse, the Hierophant, and the Two of Swords in reverse. Oh, and the Hierophant in reverse. Sorry. So the Empress in reverse is telling us that you are kind of feeling a little bit out of place, honestly. Excuse me. Sometimes I see that with them, they may feel like that you're not treating them as their equal. Okay. With the Hierophant in reverse, I also see them a little bit unsure if this is going to be a higher level commitment or where this is actually going to go. However, with the Two of Swords in reverse, what I like seeing that is they're not really listening to outside forces and they're not really in the critical negative thinking. I almost said negligence. I can't even say that word, but negative, that kind of thinking. I feel like some of them are actually just in their own mind space on this. This might not be how you're actually treating them, but they may be like comparing some of you to somebody in the past, which is causing a little bit of conflict in themselves. And that is something I see like they need to heal or work on, because I actually see this as a connection that could go further. However, with some of you, I see that if it is causing issues, that might be you walking away, but not because of your own doing, but because you just can't handle being the comparisons, right? So finally, what is the oh my goodness, what is the energy of the connection here? What is the energy? What is the togetherness energy for Aquarius and their person? What is the togetherness energy for Aquarius and their person, please? What is their togetherness energy for Aquarius and their person? So Aquarius and your person. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. You have the King of Swords in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. So for some of you, there's a lot of blockages with the communication and the emotions, okay, with you and your person. I do see for some of you, this connection could be ending, but some of you, I also see this connection could be hitting this higher level of commitment. It just depends on where you are in the situation. So if you two are constantly fighting with each other and misconstruing everything, it's either kind of like you're going to have to go to some kind of counseling, especially if you're a long-term commitment, in order for this to have success, or you're pretty much just going to know when to fold it and throw it away is kind of what I'm getting here, if that makes sense. But that's kind of what I'm getting. I feel a little bit that there's been a little bit of like lies and manipulation, and there's been some untold emotions in the connection. So that's kind of where I see with the two kings. I also see a little bit of conflicting energy here. So with the King of Swords, that is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, and the King of Cups would be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So if you are an air sign with a water sign, I do see possibilities of either a completion or fixing something so you can get to this like happy family kind of situation. But I do see, especially if you are those signs, that there is a lot of conflict. Air signs, you might not be speaking correctly, which may be confusing your water sign counterpart. Okay, moving on. This will be the collective energy for all the signs. So, well, all the signs of the air signs. So for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, please, can we please have the connecting, sorry, not the connecting energy. It's been a long day. Okay, can we please have for the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, can we please have the energy of the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in this kind of collective energy for the air signs, please. What is their energy? So we have the Page of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Justice card. So for the collective energy, Page of Swords is saying that you are willing to learn something new. So maybe you're willing to learn new ways of communication. Maybe some of you are going to education. Maybe some of you are willing to go do a therapy. Something with this connection, I do see some of you willing to learn, to walk away from what's not working, what's breaking the connection, so patterns. And then the Justice, I do see many of you seeking balance. This is also a Libra card, but I do see many of you trying to seek balance. What I do like is this is the air sign overtaking this part, which is your side. So I do see you really standing in this energy of wanting to create change in this connection. Okay. Next, we have the what is your person's energy? What is your person's energy in the connection for the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air sign kind of collective energy? So for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you have the Two of Pentacles. Your partner has the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Seven of Cups. So I do see this is nice because they're also seeking balance. They may have a little bit quicker moving energy about trying to get to some stability here. And then with the Seven of Cups, you see a little bit of reluctancy on releasing kind of baggage. So that might be a little bit of complication between you. Sorry, I'm saying so much, but I do see it as a little bit of complication. I do see quick moving energy though. So I see movement forward, okay? Finally, what do we have here? We have the togetherness energy. So what is the togetherness energy for the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the collective energy, please? What is the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy in the collective energy, please? What is the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, like togetherness energy with their partner for the collective of the air signs, please? Okay. So you have Death and Rebirth in reverse, Three of Cups in reverse, and Five of Wands in reverse. So I do see here reluctancy for change for some of you, a lack of group community. Okay. So you may, or your partner may not be providing that kind of community era for you, but some of you just feel that for people around you. Okay. And the Five of Wands is showing a lack of building. Now, this doesn't mean that you cannot build. It just means that currently as it stands, you may be struggling without making changes. You guys are going to have issues, but I see with the togetherness energy, it's kind of telling like a focus on self change before you can have this kind of change. I think I see that with the reversals. There's a lot of like self change kind of energy. So I believe once you work on self a little bit and work on what it is you need to work on, I also see you needing to communicate with each other to kind of find out what it is for your wants and needs, right? For this though, I see once you actually like work on self, then you'll be able to flip these cards around. But currently as it stands, whether you're talking to people around you or not, that's where that lack of community is going to get. And a lot of them might believe that you're unable to build on this connection because they don't believe that that person will change. Now, remember, outside forces are never really a good thing. Because there are people that actually just want to see your downfall. So if that makes sense to you, thank you so much for watching Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I really do appreciate you. And I hope you have a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I will have timestamps below. And thank you. Goodbye.